I I get to introduce our sponsor again tonight because once again, Mark gets to pick the sponsors. Tonight's sponsor is Bob Berry. Bob Berry is the Chief Revenue Officer of Advanced Classroom Technologies, a value-added reseller that many of us use. Like always, I always joke that a lot of times these people are people I've known for a long time and friends. And what's really funny is our first episode we did, you and I had people on that are kind of our longtime folks that we remember from ACPE, and we both obviously did school district folks, but Bob is honestly up there with one of the longest people that I have known who has been coming to the ACPE conference. I think we're both over 20 years. That's how long I've known Bob, and we've been enjoying the conference
It
together.
was a well-kept secret from me for a handful of years before I discovered it and made my way to Welch's that one year and had a great time. So
Oh, it was
always a good time.
epic. So without further ado, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Advanced Classroom Technologies, for sponsoring this episode. Bob, if you'd like to share a little bit about yourself, a little about ACT, that would be great.
Sure. So first off, I was worried because I've been listening to your podcasts over the last week and got caught up, and I realized that you were introducing a lot of your sponsors as friends, and I was wondering if you were going to do the same, extend the same courtesy to me. So thank you very much. It has been a long time. So I think I moved up to Washington in February of '99. Most consecutive days of rainfall on record, if I recall. I didn't see Mount Rainier for like 6 months when I moved up there. But yeah. So thank you guys. We love ACPE. I have done countless educational technology conferences over the 27 plus years that I've been in this industry. I should show you. I hold on to all of my name tags. I have a collection of name tags that I never let those go. So I bring them home. My daughter used to collect them. So ACP is still our favorite event every year, and I've done them from coast to coast. And yeah, nothing holds a candle to you guys. So, but thank you guys for allowing us to jump on. So if you're not familiar with ACT already, it's Advanced Classroom Technologies, not your basic classroom technologies. We're advanced classroom technologies, right? So, but we've been around for a long time, since really the late '90s. We're based just north of Seattle. We partner with school districts and educational institutions across the Western U.S., and we deliver innovative classroom technology solutions. I think where we shine probably the most is with our services. We do everything from simple classroom installation to more complex integrations like district boardrooms. We're doing lately a lot more in the large venue spaces. We have professional development services, but more than anything else, we have a team of educational consultants who work really closely with the districts and the IT departments to kind of realize whatever their technology goals may be. But like I said, I've been in the ed tech game for over 27 years. I know what you're both are thinking individually at the same time, but Bob, you look so young. Thank you guys for thinking.
You took the words right out
I
of my
know,
mouth.
I know. Thank you guys. But when I started, this is a quick story. When I started in this business, I was promoting a ton of what we would call analog technologies. I think the first part number I've ever learned was for a Kodak Ectographic 3A slide projector. So we were selling this is back in 1998. So that was probably they were on their way out at that point. Then we evolved into overhead projectors and acetate rolls. Remember those? And then the over the shoulder VHS camcorders and a lot of CRT televisions. I think that's where I met Mark back in the day. You were with a different district there and worked and put a lot of 27-inch or 32-inch CRT televisions into the
We were
district.
32-inch, thank you.
You were 32-inch, that's right. And then stand converters. Remember stand converters? And then, gosh, VCRs, DVD combo units. It's crazy.
It's been a journey.
I know it has, and so I've definitely witnessed the evolution of classroom technology over the course of those years, and it is something we take a lot of pride in when we can work with the district and help them realize their vision and turn it into a reality. We do have a mission statement, and I know this because it's on my business card, and it's all about empowering teachers, inspiring students, and delivering the classroom that everyone deserves. I hope I got that right, or my boss is going to be mad, but. We've also evolved a lot over the last several years, and we're offering districts solutions around physical security, mass notification, which is a fancy way of saying bells and paging and intercom systems, emergency notification stuff, obviously with Alyssa's Law and everything that's going on there, AV control systems. And then I think I mentioned it earlier, we're doing more in the pro AV space. So we're doing a lot more of the intricate systems like, district boardrooms, gymnasiums, theaters, performing arts centers. Did I say multi-purpose rooms, outdoor athletic fields? So, and we've even helped districts with interactive playgrounds, which is one of those kind of spaces that I find to be really rewarding. It's basically an installed AV system that would go into a gymnasium, let's say.
I went to your demo on that. That was amazing. It was
Yeah,
actually really very cool.
We did one in Tacoma. So they've got one, and I'm totally blanking on. It was a middle school. So I'm almost certain, but that was last year. I should know this. But at last count, I think we have about 100 different manufacturers in our line card. So I like to say that we have solutions for every room in a school. And last but not least, I promise I'm going to stop talking now. We have a green recycling program that allows our customers to earn credit towards future purchases through ACT. If you have even old panels, projectors, boards, devices, Chromebooks, laptops, all that kind of stuff. That's something that's kind of a newer thing for us, but we're working with a lot of districts to help them with that too. Esports is another thing. I know that's the topic for today. So we do work with districts, and we work with all the major OEMs, and I do them in alphabetical order. So you have Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Samsung. Missed one. I probably missed CTL. We've got a lot of different partners that we work with there. So, esports, and we do collaborative furniture, all that kind of stuff. Should I stop talking?
No.
Great.
So this is excellent.
I know this is your opportunity, Bob, to talk about ACT, but I have a really funny story to share. I taught sixth grade, and in sixth grade, you teach maturation. And I taught it with the fifth grade, the other male fifth grade teacher, who is now the superintendent of the Eatonville School District. And he and I are still good friends. And Eatonville is where I live. And he still, to this day, talks about, I had the first projector, probably one of the very first in the entire school district. And I always strove for the largest picture possible. So I had that sucker pulled back into the middle of my room and like a 200-inch papered screen on a giant wall. And he goes, all I remember is I looked up there and we're doing maturation. And what are you showing up there, Mark? Like one gigantic, like, we could label everything. It was very clear.
I bet there are fourth and fifth graders who were in your class who still talk about it as 20 or 30 something, or whatever they are now.
But anyway, thank you so much, Bob.
So, Bob, really quickly, though, back to esports. You mentioned the computer part. Yeah. I'm interested in that and how these arenas are being built. And even if there's not full college stadium size ones, but school district size ones. But I'm more fascinated by the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you had talked about the furniture design and the furniture line outside of just the very nice job rattling in alphabetical order the OEMs on the hardware, but the furniture is fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's an important thing. Tables and chairs are really big, and storage on that stuff. And I've seen some really unique esports spaces. It was at Columbia Basin College over in the Tri-Cities. Have you guys seen that? It's really pretty unique. And I know that there's probably some other ones that rival, but it's like, the smoke and mirrors and the lighting and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool, and it really sets the right tone. But I've been a big fan of esports for many, many years. My son, who's now 24, he's still a gamer. And had I known back then, I would have encouraged him to play more and probably get a scholarship to somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it was like $60 million worth of scholarships awarded in 2024. Crazy. And it's like almost $200 billion industry.
This is great. Thank you for making time for this evening. Thanks for your longtime support of ACPE and this new support of our growing podcast, and really appreciate the conversation taking us from the beginning of technology up through these stadiums and these millions of dollars in esports scholarships. Looking forward to, I think, seeing you in May.
I will be there. Yeah. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Bye, Bob.
All right. Bye, Bob.
See y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Hi, Mark.
our intro.
Yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
Let's rock.
Let's roll.
It's as cheesy bad as I hoped.
Well, I mean, we can just throw that into the new Discord cheese channel. So,
True.
There you go. Well, hi. Guess what?
What?
Well, you could have gone two ways with that. But we finished our 12 episode pilot for the podcast. And That's great. So technically, this is season 2, and we can't call this a baby podcast anymore.
It's a
right?
toddler podcast.
Toddler, yes. We're in the toddler stage. But yeah, we're here and super excited to move into season 2. I have been absolutely loving this, and we have a couple of great guests tonight.
We do.
But just to what I thought you were going to say when I said, hey, guess what? I thought you were going to say, oh, you have a brain tumor? And I was going to be like, I do. It's great. Just a quick update for everybody. We're sneaking one of these recordings in before I go in for surgery in 2 days. So we got some time and we'll see.
We have time, and we have one more view of Mark before he either has A, the Frankenstein zipper scar, B, the Lego blank palette, or C, some type of precious metal.
How cool would it be if it was diamonded? You could see through, like right to my brain. That would be awesome. But just throwing it out there tonight, I am representing our Nerdles tonight. Rachel and Shelby and Ellen and I are in a Wordle group that we call the Wordle Nerdles. And the reason I am wearing this shirt tonight is because it's a brain. And right there is where the bad thing is. So actually, it's actually right there. It's on the left side. But, we'll give everybody an update.
No, you were correct the first time.
Is that the left side? Right there?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, it's right there.
Okay. And
So-
I'm chuckling because for those who are listening and not watching, Mark has a ballpoint pen as a pointer, like if he was working on a chalkboard in a classroom.
Yeah, there's your
It's a big week.
Joe the Tumor update. But I'm super excited to get into our topic tonight. I have not been big into esports, but I myself do game with plenty of friends, and I'm very excited to get into this conversation. So
Yeah. So I'm going to
shall we bring some folks out?
I think so. Yes. So bringing on stage Owen Craig.
Sorry, we're going to let them introduce themselves, but I think it's really important that everybody knows what I think of Owen every time I hear his name, which is Owen plays in the golf tournament at ACPE, and Owen plays the entire golf tournament with a putter, and only a putter, and it's awesome.
It's the perfect tool for the job.
It is.
It does everything you need. You can hit it 20 feet. You can hit it 2 feet. What else do you need? It's a par 3 course or whatever. So you don't have to hit it that far. And plus everyone else hits it far. So I'd like to do the layups. So I just kind of get it there so I don't lose anything.
Yeah.
I love it.
We have also brought on stage Matthew Ross from Napavine. Good evening, Matthew.
Good evening. How is everybody?
Good, thanks. If you are a golfer, what club do you prefer?
Oh, if I were to pick a single club, I think I would do a tin cup and do the 7 wedge? It's just because it's the thing that can do everything, right? So if I had to pick one.
Yeah, you can't putt with it though.
Yes, you can.
Can't drive with it.
You absolutely.
Like putter.
I've actually played a golf tournament where you could only have a 7-iron and a putter.
No, well, if you have not seen Tin Cup, it's a very, very famous scene where he breaks all of his clubs because he just decides that it's all bad. Everything's bad except for the 7 wedge. Just he can count on it, and he does great with it. So yeah, it's a fun movie. I'm not a big golfer, but that one was fun.
Mark, if you had to play 9 holes on one club, what would you take?
Like, am I playing it seriously? Like, I really want to score well, or I'm
Okay,
just
did
out
you-
there to
okay.
screw around?
Let me repeat the premise. You have to play 9 holes with only one club. So probably not super serious.
7-iron. It's a 7-iron. 7-iron is the most versatile club, I think, in the bag.
Okay, so I think what we have set up here is at whatever ACPE that the magic happens, it is Owen with a putter against Mark and Matthew
I'm
with a
going to get my
7-iron.
ass absolutely handed to me.
Well, you guys have seen me at that tournament. I just wander around and play with random teams. So
That's pretty much what I do, except I'm on a team. I make bad jokes the whole time, and I'm really good at chirping or roasting people as they play, and then I follow it up with an abysmal. But it's not my fault. I only have a putter. It's not my fault that I'm
all
bad.
right, so this was totally unplanned. I didn't plan on talking about golf tonight or the ACPE tournament. But Owen, what did you think of the fling golf thing?
I loved it. I
Okay.
really loved that. That was so much fun.
I was so glad we put that in.
I can't believe how that was the furthest I've ever gotten a golf ball in my life. I actually made it to the green or close to the green on one.
Who was on your team? Because I think I might have seen that.
Don't even hold.
Okay, sorry.
It was a bunch of old guys and some board members. It was a pretty stacked group, and I
kind of hung out near that hole at the beginning, and there was a couple of teams that were just cheering like crazy. They just they hammered it. It was great. And so
I got to Google the ACPE board real fast.
we got two of us here.
Steve Langford was one of them. I can't tell because the pictures are animated little
I think it was
cartoons
Stephen
of people.
Allen.
You're welcome. Oh, it could
That
have been
sounded
Alan.
right.
Could have been Allen.
That's did he retire?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
I think
We'll
he's
make sure to tell him that.
That might be an inside joke, but I don't know.
I think he's resting in fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get too far into this party, Matthew, do you want to say hi? Introduce yourself to
Sure.
all the listeners?
Sure. My name's Matthew Ross. I'm a technician at the Napavine School District. I'm usually spending most of my time either under a desk or in a ceiling or dealing with something, somewhere kind of thing. We're a small school district, so I call myself a 1.5 man shop. I've got another guy who deals with a lot of the Skyward student services stuff, and he doesn't like ladders, so he doesn't have to do any of that other stuff. So that's fine. If he's doing all that stuff, I don't have to do it. I'm very happy to have him along with me. I say hello, Chris. And other than that, when I'm not doing my usual job every day, I am one way or another usually playing video games one way or another. And so I have spent a lot of my life having fun with people, with friends, and most recently with students, trying to get them to play video games. And it's been a wonderful time to do that. I've been really having fun with this esports thing. I would love to talk to you about it.
We're
Awesome.
so excited. Welcome, and thanks for spending an evening with us.
No problem.
Definitely.
Owen, you were one of the best entry folks into Discord that I remember. Like when I think of ACPE Discord and just the 5 years that we've been in now. Happy Discord anniversary that we didn't do in September earlier this year. But I think, Owen, conversations and contributions there have been really great. Matthew, also, I think we mentioned you on a prior episode about the kind of back and forth in a channel.
I don't think
it was all good. So grateful to have you both here. So Owen, now go ahead and introduce yourself and say hi
First,
to ACPE.
Hi, ACPE. Hi, just a second, ACPE.
Yeah.
No, I mean, sorry, Matthew, your long
whatever.
name. The difference is in Discord, he gives useful information. I usually just troll. And
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I'm not helpful. I leave that to other people because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't tell anybody. I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Cut that.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
It's fine. You can just remove that from this episode,
It's
right?
fine.
Yeah, guys,
It's
You can do Mark's surgery.
Yeah.
It's just taking out a little meningioma.
You have to think about it is that, yes, I actually probably could do his surgery. Would he survive? Probably not. Would I get
That wasn't the
part out
question.
that I need? I don't know, but
Well,
I
you'd
can
get that
definitely
and probably
put a
some
hole.
more.
I could put a hole in his head and take some stuff out. Yeah,
I love it.
easy. Hi,
Easy.
everybody. I'm Owen Craig. I'm the director of technology for the Nooksack Valley School District. Matt's a 1.5 man show, but he's got a whole other half person, which must be nice. I'm a single man. I'm married and I have kids, but it's just me. And I love it. I'm also the director of business development for the Washington State Scholastic Esports Association, which really is just the way I just get to talk to people a lot about esports. I never actually I don't have to sign anything. I'm not I'm not responsible for anything. I just like to talk to people about esports and the opportunities that it offers and make connections for people. Again, I don't think I'm really useful in almost any sense whatsoever, but some people laugh sometimes at stuff. So that's got to mean something. What else? I play video games kind of, but not as much as I used to. And now I spend a lot of my spare time, doing esports stuff. This one, FBLA. I'm a big fan of the FBLA now, Future Business Leaders of America, those who don't know of it. But we'll talk about that later.
Owen says all these things, but when Rachel and I were talking about which episode we wanted to do next, and she said, well, we could do esports. I was like, well, it's going to be Owen and probably Matthew. I mean, the two of you were the first two names that we just kind of shot to the top of the list. So obviously, Owen, you're making an impact out there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's just because of my job. I got to talk to people. So I talk to people and then I send them to other people to actually get real information. And I say, any questions? Go ahead and take that to the WSSEA Discord.
All right. Should we actually get to our topic tonight?
Take it away, gentlemen.
Matt, go first.
All right, I'll start. My journey into esports is kind of recent. Sure, I've been playing video games forever, and I've been playing with friends and doing that kind of thing. I've spent years with my friends, where, hey, come over to my house, bring your computers. We'll pull the base T cable through the house so everybody can be hooked up at their different computers and play video games through that 10 megabit connection throughout the house. Decades before any of this stuff we've been doing now. But my school was saying, we should probably do esports sometime. Something should be interesting. Why don't we go ahead and do esports sometime? And then what happened is that my wife was asked by her school, hey, are you interested in esports? Do you have any interest at all? And she goes, I'm interested in learning more. At which point they made her the coach of the esports team. She didn't know anything. She looked at me and said, what do I do? And I said, the kids know more than you do, and that's okay. She doesn't play video games. She used to play World of Warcraft with me for a decade. She went into the program, and at this time, Washington State was actually looking at doing it through WIAA. And so she got some kids, and they said they were interested in doing Smash Brothers. And she put them together. They actually went and played their own tournaments sometimes. She got really good about saying, come in, practice. I don't know what you guys are doing, but make sure you're practicing what you need to do. I just want you guys to come and actually be serious about this. And they practiced, and they ended up winning state. Okay? And so big deal for her, big deal for the school for her to do that. So she came back and she said, well, now we have to defend our title next year. But WIA dropped their esports pilot program, if you guys would call it. So she needed to get back into it, and we were looking at how we were going to do that. Me, at the same time, it was like, well, if my wife can do this, I'm going to see if I can do this. So I asked my district if there's a way I could make this happen. We went ahead and started an after-school program for me, and we joined a national league. There's a couple of them out there, and I got to tell you one thing. The one thing we liked about it was, hey, we could play a game every day if we want to. What we hated about it is we don't know who any of these people are. I really wish we could play somebody local. Wouldn't that be nice if we could play the local team and play against them? So after a year of that, I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own esports league, because I didn't know about WSSEA. WSSEA was still doing their thing. They were starting to get up and do their thing. I just started to make my own, and I said, we're going to make something regional, just during Washington gaming. Swag. Okay, so look at, we have a little swag sticker on our bottle here. We made Swag Esports.
WSSEA, please blur that.
Swag Esports lasted for a couple of years, and it was basically me and Google Sheets and a website, and I got like 4 or 5 schools in the area to play some games with us for a couple seasons. And it was fun. It was good. It was a good thing. And then I was introduced to WSSEA, and we figured out what they were doing, and it said, you know what, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. We can totally just become a part of them. I was also at the point where, like, Swag is kind of trying to do its thing, but schools sometimes fall out, come back in. The season where I was like, I only have 4 teams, and 4 is just enough to play a season, essentially. So we'll go ahead and get as many of these schools to join WSSEA. Ever since then, I've been doing everything I can to make WSSEA something fun for everybody, fun for the kids. Here's the thing. The kids want to play the games because that's what they do. They're already going home and playing Fortnite or whatever games that they're playing, Overwatch, Rivals now, and all these other games. Now you're giving them an opportunity to do this kind of thing at school. And you're making it into a program where some kids, this is a thing where this is the only thing they're into. And there's a lot of kids, let me put it this way. You guys talk golf, you guys might talk about other sports and things like that. There's lots of kids like me who hated all that sports stuff, tried it and just wasn't my thing. And I would have loved to have been able to do a program where, hey, we're going to play this game instead after school. And you can come in, you can play, you don't have to play, you can play as part of the practice team. And if you really want to, you can join actually a real team. We'll have matches every week. We'll go ahead and get you guys up against other schools, and we can see how far we can go with this kind of thing. And that has been really, really impactful for my students, who are now, we're a bunch of knuckleheads yelling at each other, doing all the jokes, laughing at each other, me saying, you guys got to calm down. We got to try to actually win this thing. We're finally getting to the point where, like, okay, this is actually something we want to try to win. And that is a kind of an evolution of my students, where they were this was just for fun, to this, like, oh, wow, we could actually maybe do something and maybe get somewhere with this. We could possibly win, which is huge. And so we pushed all kinds of new things into WSSEA. We've been trying new ways to get people involved. I've been trying to find new ways to get people interested. I work on some of the videos that we push out. I work on the advertisement posters that we post on our website. It's Kids Come. So I basically found myself in a role with WSSEA where there's a lot of people who do a lot of things. Like, for example, Owen is really good at talking to people. And we have people who are really good at making the rules for the games and making sure that works. And people who are really good at talking about, what happens when you have a dispute, that kind of thing. Since I had already kind of done a lot of that on my own, I fit really good as a person who can kind of do a lot of that stuff and fill shoes and help people who are like, okay, what do we do in this situation? I can say, well, I'm not exactly certain what it means. I think this is what it means. This is what I would do. I can really become kind of that jack of all trades kind of person for WSSEA. Plus, they're having me try to be a social media guy, and I'm not a social media guy, but I'm trying.
You said you're the jack of all trades. Do your job.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Jack at all trades.
Exactly.
Matthew, that's fantastic. Starting from essentially trying to compete and learn from your wife and chase her example.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of that in my life.
She's way cooler than he is.
No kidding.
Kind of assumed that, yes. And then to essentially,
you got the wrong person on the interview here. Why didn't you get her in here? I don't get it.
I just want to call out that when you held up the water bottle, I love that it's swag esports, but what I heard was swaggy sports. And I think it plays either way. Well done on making the acronym that really works.
That acronym, the branding is important. I think that kind of thing has to work well. So when I was trying to make Southwestern Washington Esports things, like, was a URL available? And this is going to be great. And then trying to make a logo that works, kind of in a square and a circle. Same thing's happening with WSSEA. I've been trying to make their logos. Washington Esports, the E is for everybody. And so the E is in green and the everybody is in green. And we have a nice, rich color green that we use to be the WSSEA colors for us. And we want to put this branding out. Sports is a thing that if you're interested, you can join and you can do something with it and not just play games. Yeah. There's so much more you can do. Hey, how about a mascot? Can we do a mascot? And we've thrown some ideas around. For a while, we were possibly doing a Sasquatch thing. But I think
I
think everybody's done a Sasquatch.
No way.
So
I thought that was ACPE's mascot this season too.
I think everybody's done Sasquatch. So.
I think, yeah, it's definitely had its moment to the past decade. So Matthew, it sounds like all are welcome is the spirit. And so Owen, how did your storyline intersect here? And I'm assuming that WSSEA is not going to send us a cease and desist letter for using the swag esports and the swag esports.
Well, it's already in the mail. Like, you're already screwed. So
the courier was sent out the door already.
Kidding. I told you I don't have any actual responsibility. If we want to make a long story short, I already wrote an article and you can just read that.
Okay. Let me explain how podcasts work. So there are these microphones in front of us.
I put it on the screen. People didn't read it.
People listen to what we say. Sometimes driving, and we shouldn't encourage them to read.
And then
can I read it verbatim?
I can get AI to read it for me. No. Okay. I'm not going to start from my childhood because it was fine. Anyway, so imagine me as an adult, look a lot like this. Just got out of the Marine Corps. I had my own business for a while, and that was neat, but it was kind of like boring. I'm up northeast of Bellingham, half an hour. There's cows and corn, very small place. I happened to get this job because I deserve it and I am qualified, and not because I was the only person. No, I'm kidding.
You've persisted past the 90-day interim period. So
fake it till you make it.
Fake it
and
till
then
you make
keep
it.
faking.
That's a whole leadership topic that I would love to do an episode on, by the way, and I'm dead serious about that.
I had a dream, and that dream was to start a technology club where I was going to show kids like networking. And you want two switches to talk. So anyways.
And how'd that go, Owen? Catch us up on that project.
Okay, well, so we started taking apart computers instead. I don't know if any of you know, like, IT work isn't really sexy. It's not flashy. It's not like cool.
What? Depends on who you're talking to.
Well, I mean, it is when you do it, Mark. Sorry, don't send a cease and desist.
It's a different kind of letter you get on that.
So we did I started a club. I started a technology club, and I was going to show kids like computer stuff, whatever. I build drones. So I was like, I'll just bring some of that. I'll bring all the things. They started taking apart laptops, and they didn't know what way to turn the screwdriver. And I said, oh, okay. okay, we're at that level. Perfect. Great. No problem. Took it apart and kids are like, so can we play like Fortnite on this? And I said, I don't know. Let's try. And being the IT guy, I can install whatever I want, wherever I want. And we could play on those really bad old laptops. And they're like, oh, this is really cool. Can we like play against other schools? And I said, I don't know. Let's find out. And so I found WSSEA, and we happened to join 4.5 years ago or something. So we joined the very beginning of the spring season, however many years ago, probably 2021. And we made it to state playing Valorant. And I had 8 kids that like we literally had to start the preseason game or whatever, like the next week. Somehow we got it together. We made it to state. Top 8 made it to state. We were 10, but they're like, just come anyways. So I was like, yeah, we made it. So I got to make it to state, which was really cool. It was in Heritage High School, way down south, next to Oregon. And it was a really cool event, big event. It was shoutcast, like a live streamed, and there were cool things to do. Really fun. First time that these kids have seen anything like that. It was also like a 6-hour drive. So we stayed the night, and it was wild because it was like a bunch of the computer kids, right? It was the gamer kids, not the sports kids. We made it to 8th place. We beat the team. We beat 9th place team, and then we got knocked out, but we were still there. Got to participate. Was great. Fast forward a bunch. We just kept going and kept building and kept playing. But the really important part was like after we got back from state, kids were like, oh, like we were live streaming that. That looked really cool. Can we do that? And I said, yeah, why not? Let's figure it out. So we actually live stream our games now, and I have students doing commentary and running the whole stream and setting everything up. Now, I do need to preface that we don't have like a digital media class. We don't have computer science class. We don't have, yeah.
It sounds like you do have a digital media class.
Okay, let's not
And
go
it's-
crazy.
And it's no, this is that how we weave together real life. Why have a digital media class that is making fake flyers for a dog wash? Yes, Owen.
Well, thank you. You can cut this after I say it. Don't spoil my thing. Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay. And go. So we don't have any of those classes. So I started making clubs. And so I did, I started with technology club, then it turned to also esports club. And then it turned into, Nooksack Productions, which is our digital media club. Then I started the Girls Who Code club. Anyway, so last year I took over the Future Business Leaders of America because they represent basically everything that we've been doing in esports. And the reason I started with the FBLA is because the FBLA emailed me and was like, hey, we hear that you do esports. Can you help us get esports into the FBLA? Because we see the value in it. We just don't really know what it is that we can do, which is really big because now we have this national CTSO that has the capability of bringing esports into classrooms. So now we're doing esports events through the FBLA. They had a big Smash tournament at the State Business Leadership Conference for the FBLA. And there was 2,500 kids, and I brought a shoutcaster, and they played Super Smash Brothers up on stage, and the kids were going insane because it was so fun and so hectic. And I took a video of it, and I was like, this is esports. This is why we do esports, because it's not always the business kids. It's not always the sports kids. It's the video game kids. If I talk about specific students, I'll cry, so I can't. But I will reference them and also just cry a little bit. It's coming already. I can feel it. I've shed a lot of tears because of like the things that we're doing and the impact that esports makes. And I know that it makes an impact because I have the students at my school that say it. They don't even try and hide it. There are kids and sometimes they will reach out to me when things are too much for them at home and they say, I don't know who else to talk to, but you listen to me. And I have this place now where I feel comfortable. I've had kids come out as transgender to our club. They feel accepted. And that's what I'm really proud about. And now we're going to pivot slightly into the other reason why I do all this. Again, I will talk forever. You guys invited me. It's your fault.
Sorry, Owen. And this is a very serious question because
Yes.
I'm listening to the way you talk and I'm listening to the way that you interact with the students that you do. And I was an elementary school teacher. Rachel was a teacher for a bit. Why are you not a teacher?
Okay. Again, we're gonna have to cut this in a second. Can you not? Like, I'm getting there. Okay.
Okay.
Just
Good,
chill out
because-
for a second.
well-
Narrator's voice. We're not actually probably going to cut these parts.
Yeah, we're not going to
because
cut this at all.
They're too good.
Okay. So here's the crux of the issue, right? I have found my favorite thing on the planet to do, and that's whatever the hell it is that I'm doing right now. I can't
Perfect.
really put. I'm competent enough at my job to have that running, and then when I fill my downtime, I fill it with esports. Kind of. Esports is not the goal, right? The goal is like building community.
That is so obvious, and I'm dead serious. Everything you said is, we're talking about esports, but the way you've been speaking, it is absolutely obvious.
It literally has nothing to do with esports. I know we're
Right.
talking about esports. This is the esports episode. I'm going to give a tip to everybody that's listening and those that are watching. If you have a thing that you like and you know maybe students will like, do the thing at school so that the kids know that it's okay to do the thing that you do. So I wear like D&D shirts. I wear video game shirts. It's okay to be nerdy. I have like nerd crap everywhere because I know those kids are out there and I know that they need to be seen. And I'm saying, and I've had multiple kids come up to me when I'm wearing like a rainbow pin or something on my shirt. And they say, did you feel intimidated when you were first talking to Mr. Craig? And they're like, well, no, he was wearing a rainbow shirt. He seemed pretty chill. And I was like, that's it. Like, I cheated. I didn't mean to, but again, not quite on topic of kids say like, oh, nice shirt. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. It's not for you. It's for the kids that need to see it. But that's basically what the entire club is. And it doesn't matter if it's esports. It doesn't matter if it's crocheting. It doesn't matter if it's D&D. It doesn't matter if it's hot wiring cars or whatever.
Cut that.
Cut that? No, that one, that's the only good joke I've made. I'm not a teacher.
Yes, you are.
Stop it. I know, but listen, stop. I know, but I'm okay. I'm not credentialed or whatever. My thing is making connections. So I make connections with students, and then I ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I had a student say, I want to be a neonatal doctor. I want to go to University of Washington and I'm going to graduate from there and I'm going to be a neonatal doctor. And I said, cool. And so mind you, this is an FBLA kid, but now FBLA and esports and rocketry and Girls Who Code and productions and all that, they're all under the same umbrella because it's easier for me to manage. I say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd be a neonatal doctor. I said, cool. What does that mean to you? And they say, it's little babies. And I want to, like, I don't know. I'm from Nooksack. I don't know what that really is. So I said, I'll be right back. And I went and I emailed the head of the University of Washington neonatal department. And I said, hey, I got a student that's interested in doing this, wants to be a neonatal doctor. Can you or someone from your team like talk on Zoom, or can we come do a visit or something? And he was like, absolutely. It'd save you a trip. I know you're, a couple hours away. We can do a Zoom. And I said, actually, how about don't save us a trip? I'll bring a van full of kids down. We're also going to ask if we can do interviews to your staff, because we do this thing that I'm gonna plug my thing. It's called Real Dreams, and it's basically making Instagram reels of people doing neat things in careers. And I'm taking my students to go and interview these people, and we're doing one a month. And I don't care where it is. I'm gonna go to LA, I think, next year, like the beginning of next year. Does anybody know what PAX is? PAX West?
Mm-hmm.
Video game thing in
Mm-hmm.
Seattle. I had 3 students there. We made it a school trip. We actually got free tickets, and one of the companies there decided to pay for our hotels because I just had 3 girls in the expo hall, and they went and interviewed 30 different people in the game development world, in the board game world, cosplayers. They found the developer for Stardew Valley and literally chased him down to ask if he could have an interview. And they started out like super timid and scared, but by the end of it, like Concerned Ape was going to get chased down and get interviewed. They were so confident in what they were doing, and they were building connections and getting cards. So we're going to go to UW Medicine is on the 23rd. I hope this comes out before then, the 23rd of October.
I'll see you there.
Have, but we're going to be in the little baby place.
Not me.
We'll come by and say hi.
He's going to be in the big baby place.
We're gonna try and interview you and see what you do. The overarching goal, right, is I use esports to get kids through the door. I use field trips to get kids through the door. I get to share these really cool experiences, and I tell them that if you have a thing, we're gonna go do that thing. So I have some more things lined up that are even cooler that I can't quite talk about now because we're getting exclusive access to stuff because I can sell this story because it's a phenomenal story. I want to make it statewide. I convinced our director of teaching and learning person. She was like, can I join the FBLA? Because I want to see what you're doing because this is what school should be like. Like this is what we should be doing for school. And they try and ask me to make it sustainable. And I'm like, yeah, just give me some money. How hard is that? Like, it sounds sustainable, but we're in bigger and bigger talks, and our Nooksack FBLA and esports are like putting the school on the map when it comes to those areas. I had a kid that he made his own video game for the FBLA. He won the state championship at the FBLA. He's never shown his game to anybody, but he went and sold it to these judges, got first place. We went to Anaheim and we went $10,000 in debt or whatever, but we got to go to Disneyland. So that's good. But it was an easy pitch to my superintendent. I said, hey, like this is a student that has a passion for something, and we were able to support it and showcase it. And he won. He beat everybody else in the state at making a game. He doesn't have a video game making class. This is just a passion of his. We need to support him to the end to see where it can go. And he's like, yeah, go, obviously. And I was like, but I'm taking the rest of my club too. So he said, okay. And it was only like 4 people at the time, but like more and more kids are hearing about it. And yeah, esports, video games, great. We love video games. But also like a lot of the video game kids that I talk to don't know what they want to be. So I say something, they don't know what they want to be when they grow up. And I say, well, you better come with me to, and then I name off the things that we're going to do because you might find something you like. So I'm trying to frame this year as say yes to opportunity. I don't think they believe me when I say like, no, you're going to interview the head of the doctor department. This could literally change your life. We're going to a school that you want to go to talk to people you want to be involved with. And it's happening in multiple different fields. We're doing video games. We're doing astronomy. We're doing broadcasting. The kids that I took to PAX got to volunteer at the Landfest Charity Stream Zone. They helped fundraise money. They were running the board game live stream. And then when they were off not doing that, we were out doing interviews and talking to people and getting cards and making connections. And I said, you can be mediocre at every job that you have, but if you know people, you can do anything. And I said, if I know somebody and I know that there is a kid in this school that wants to do one of those, you are going to know this person as well as I do. I will make every connection that I can to get any kid, anything. I'm fine. Like I have a job. I'm comfortable. I have a family that I love. I have a house. Like I'm not in the hustle anymore. Now my hustle is to get this program to be so successful that like kids want to go to school and want to learn and want to participate because dang, like Mr. Craig can get us to PAX. The first they didn't even know what PAX was because they're out in the middle of nowhere. And I explained what it was. And they're like, I don't know what that is still. And I said, okay, well then just come. And they came. We went to the basement of the board game building and they're like, oh my God, PAX is huge. And I said, what do you mean? Like, look at all this. And I was like, this is literally the basement of the boring building. We have 5 floors of other cool stuff above us and a whole nother building that has like all your big games and everything. And they're like, no way. So anyways, mind's blown. First time I brought kids to Seattle and they're like, well, because they've never been to Seattle. They've never.
Owen.
This is what I was going to talk about. Sorry. This is why I talk forever.
No. I want to say that my mind is blown. Like, I am so impressed. Like, sorry. You are a teacher. Like, you are that person. I get it.
this is the coolest thing we can do. For WSSEA, I also do the career fair and college fair. So I get all of those people organized, because if I can't bring all of my experiences to these kids, I'm going to bring those kids the opportunities that we have specifically in Washington. They're like a 2-hour drive away. We can see anything. Do you want to get into a video game studio? If that's what you want to do with your life, I will call everybody and pull every string that I have. I just want people to do cool stuff. Anyways, so hey, that's what I wanted to talk about.
So, Owen, as Marc was listening and just getting more slack-jawed as you were talking, I almost said the one time, this works because you're not a teacher. Because unfortunately, our current model of education is that the certificated teachers have 30 students possibly in a classroom that they have to get to a certain level on a certain test. And what you have is the flexibility and the innovation and the incubation cycles that you can run kind of on your own schedule. And it is like good humans in both of those roles and all around these kids. But there is something, you have some lightning in a bottle right now around how you came to Nooksack, how you started dreaming about these things, and in a way that I think the curriculum and the pace of supporting many students in a classroom doesn't allow. The part that weaves the two together is that not all of the students get there by sitting in a class receiving content, and it is in the physical and kinetic learning of doing the activity, messing up, and then going back and trying to figure it out again. I think blending like kind of Matthew's building the community as well for Swaggy Sports. And then
still way cooler name.
Still, it is really like we're just
say it anymore. It's too cool. Stop saying it.
Also, it's not Southwestern Washington anymore. Damn it.
It's lightning in a bottle, and I'm so glad that we're having this episode tonight, Marc.
I know, it's awesome. It is just blowing my mind. I mean, it is the things that you were saying, Owen and Matthew, are just, whether it's teaching, whether it's club advisor, whether it's counseling, whatever it is, you guys are hitting the things that are most important to me when I think of leadership, when I think of leading the people in my own department, when I think of when I was teaching. And Owen, you kept saying it over and over, and it felt so good that I taught 6th grade. They were 12, and they would ask me a question, and I'm like, I don't know the answer to that. Let's figure out the answer to that. I'm not going to be that person that knows everything. And it's that journey together that is such a special thing, that the students know you're in it with them. And it just was speaking my language. So thank you.
I have a student that she has basically started the FBLA. I'm doing this because of the students. They're leading. I clear their path. So if they have a thing that I want to be a rocket scientist, I'm like, that's not even a real thing. Do you want to be like a liquid payload specialist or a front fender deflection specialist? Yeah. So it's a little bit more niche now, but yes, still a rocket scientist. But, and I said, let's go to the aeronautics and aerospace lab at the University of Washington. And so guess who we're talking to? We're going to go do that just because there was a kid that said, oh, I want to try this. It's perfect. Who else has what? So I call this the invisible careers, and it doesn't have to be careers, but experiences. If you don't know what's out there, you can't plan for what's out there or experience what's out there unless you go out there and look, and they don't have that opportunity. So I'll take them.
Rachel, now I want to build a channel in our Discord server of where you or anyone can ask the question called, do you know somebody?
That would be handy.
I mean, like that.
Rachel, everybody kind of knows that's kind of my forte. It's one of the things that I know a lot of people, a lot of obscure people. Like, you want to know a Grammy award-winning songwriter? I got you.
So, Owen, you hooked me at PAX West and the students, the 3 girls, going and talking to the vendors and not the vendors, talking to the game designers.
Oh, we talked to the vendors too.
And the vendors. So is that part of the Real Dreams series? It is. And is it something that did become the digital media class output, or is it just internal?
It is. It's on our Nooksack FBLA Instagram. We're doling them out. So here's the problem. The girl who does all my video editing and video production and everything, again, she is phenomenal. And the reason I'm doing all of this is because she keeps doing, and she keeps making cooler and cooler stuff. She's doing all like the hype videos for the football games, the pep assemblies, everything. She does video everything. She's better at editing videos than me, but she hasn't been able to edit these videos yet. So I've been doing a terrible job at it. I just wanted to get the point across, and I needed to get some out there because I'm using this to get more opportunity. You want to take pictures of stuff? I'm talking to the Seahawks. There's so many opportunities, and people say yes because you can't say no, because it's the coolest thing. And I have to say that, like, the reason that we're trying to push Real Dreams is because I don't want this to be just an us thing. I want to show everybody that it can be an everybody thing. And even if they can't make it to our interviews at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, maybe they can watch the video about it and then actually learn something that's tailored to high school students trying to look for some sort of inspiration or career guidance or something, because Nooksack isn't alone in being a tiny school district in nowhere. That's actually like most of the schools.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
So, Matthew, Washington seems to be ahead of the other states in trying to figure out how to do this in more places. Is there like a dream board? Is there how you're bringing this to more places and finding the Owens and Matthews across the state of Washington, and kind of where WSSEA is now in terms of what's coming next and that dream board idea?
I'm glad you could answer this, bud. Go ahead.
The truth is, Washington State is not actually the leader in this field, believe it or not. There's other states that have been doing this as well, and Washington State is just a little bit behind. Not at the very at the tail end of this, but
we're not Oregon.
No, we're definitely not Oregon. I don't know why Oregon is having such trouble with this idea, but that's okay. We'll be happy to help. But we've been able to actually look at some examples of some other states of what they're doing. New Jersey is one of them that's been really big, and we've been looking at, and there's been a lot of models that they started that we've actually adopted or evolved from. But how do I know when we've got it made? Oh, I know exactly when we've got it made. It's when we have cheerleaders. That's when I will know that Esports has made it inside the school districts.
Cedral Woolley, one of their cheerleaders, was on their Valorant team, and it was awesome because they all came in jerseys, and she came in her cheerleader outfit.
Exactly.
And it was awesome.
That sounds
amazing.
Awesome. No, I want, as soon as esports becomes just another after-school sport, and I use that word slightly with quotes, the argument for whether it's a sport or not is an interesting debate. And we can have that debate if you like. It's close enough that we can call it an esport and be happy with that for now. But it's another after-school competition activity for students with rules and with teams. And you have to try out if you're going to get on the good team. And it's so much of the exact same strategy and coaching and discipline and learning how to win and learning how to lose and all of those things. But I will know that we've made it in Washington State if we can get this to be accepted by about, I would say, a third to a half of the districts across the entire state to say, you know what, that's normal. If a school just has one season, then they play one game. Or if they're like WSSEA, where they actually have 3 seasons and they have 9 games, and that's just for the high school. There's a whole other section just for the middle school that we're trying to make this happen with. We want that to be the kind of thing where, hey, if you want to play baseball during baseball season, go play baseball. When you're done with that, come over back here. You can come back and play games. It's perfectly fine for you to do that.
So I was going to ask that follow-up. When you said 3 seasons, that means that, so there are 3 seasons in an academic year.
Correct.
So those baseball students or volleyball students in the fall,
right,
can join you for winter or spring.
Absolutely. And they're always welcome. Then they are welcome to come do any piece of the story, which is if they want to be somebody who just shows up and watches, if they want to be one of those people who is on the varsity level, or if they want to play on one of the JV teams, because we allow for that. We allow for, hey, well, there's going to be a team of 5 for Valorant. Valorant is a team with 5 players. Okay, well, there's a total maximum, according to the rules, of 10 players, because you can have up to 5 backup players. And you can swap them in and out for, for this match, we want to have these other players playing this time. That's fine. You can have a rotation if you want to. But after that 10, if you've got 30 kids who want to play Valorant, what do those other 20 do? Well, we get them to go join into the JV league, and they can play as much as they like, because the JV league, unlike a scheduled, hey, it's Napavine versus Cedral Woolley or something like that, It's the program that we use is we'll just go ahead and put them all in a giant pile and randomly match them together. JVs just play against each other, and every week at the same time you're going to be matched up with somebody. We're hoping to do some new things. One of the things I've suggested is what I'm calling esports rivals, where we're going to encourage one school that is currently in WSSEA to go ahead and either go to or invite a rival school that's nearby that isn't into esports. They will bring all the equipment and set it up, with the school involved, and say, maybe if you want to do an assembly after the end of the school day, great, we can do that. That way the whole school body gets to see this. Or if you want to do it after school, that's fine too. Just figure out all the logistics, but make it happen. Get the two teams in the same room. We were trying to figure out what ways to getting these schools to get into this, and this is one of the ways we're thinking of doing that, is trying to get them to be involved. So if Tumwater wants to take on Olympia and make that happen, maybe we can figure that out. Although neither of them are in WSSEA.
Only we knew someone in Olympia.
I mean, I had two questions. This was going to be an esports episode. So the first question I had, which you touched on, is I'm hoping that this is an inspiration to our listeners out there who may think that I'm an IT director, I'm an IT technician. This is not something I normally get involved with, but this is really intriguing to me. My own children want to do this or whatever. How does somebody get started, I think, is the first thing. And you did touch on that a little bit, but I was a football player. I played
Can't
through
see
college,
it, bud. Sorry.
But I know what it was like to practice, right? What's practice look like? I'm fascinated by what does a esports practice look like?
Every school does it differently. Usually, in my case, it is the kids getting together and saying, okay, well, we want to do really good in Valorant this week. Is the game that my kids are playing right now. We want to do Valorant. And so, okay, let's see if we can practice doing this thing. Okay. And they're learning the steps from what is working, what works well. Doing aimbot is a thing where they're actually practicing their aim. They have that built into the shooting range in the Valorant itself. And there's also external games that do the same thing. It's learning how to click on the little dot kind of thing. But learning how the rules of the game actually work, like for Valorant itself, if you are walking instead of running, you are silent, versus running, you can hear where the other players are in the game. If you are moving while shooting, your shots are much less accurate. You have to literally stop moving to make your shots more accurate, to make those amazing shots from a distance. Learning how peeking around corners work, learning how the maps can be used and abused for your advantage, learning which methods work best for capturing a point and doing things like that. And I see a question being asked.
Me too.
This sounds a lot like football practice, Mark Elliott.
Well, I mean, that's exactly, I do play with friends, and I am the oldest one of my friends group that play video games, and I'm terrible. I'm like the worst one, but we play like Call of Duty and Battlefield, and we do those things, and we run into these teams that clearly are practicing, and they have strategy.
You'll get smoked by any of the good
plays.
teams in WSSEA. They will rip you apart. I used to play Super Smash Bros. With these kids, and now it's not even a point because they will just devastate me. And now they think that I'm really good because I don't play.
Me, I start screaming at my friends saying, why did you pull me into this? This is terrible. I'm not having a good time. That happened last night, just so you know.
And when they all dress the same in the other team, or they all have the same, gamer tag in their name, or they all have the same accessory on whatever thing, and so they're all trying to do something to signify them as a group together. That's a sign that you're like, maybe we're up against people who do this a lot, and they do it as friends, or maybe they do it even possibly in their group kind of.
We have at Nooksack, I actually have a coach who comes in as a community member who actually used to play and still does play at very, very high competitive levels of a lot of games. He is wonderful. He knows everything. And he starts talking about the 8 frames of invulnerability after a throw or I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't play those games. But what's important is that he teaches them how to be very good at the game. I also, starting this year, have had my mental health counselor come in and do performance coaching. So he is actually teaching them how to self-regulate and how to recognize stress and identify emotions and talk through strategies. And he started the whole thing with showing a video of LeBron during whatever championship game. And he's just sitting there, eyes closed, just breathing. And he's regulating himself because it is an incredibly stressful situation. You guys can do that too, because our problem is that we've had kids in the basement, right? And they are regulating with their friends online, unmonitored, and like your default can't really be racist comments or sexist comments or homophobic comments. What was really important and a big step that we actually took this year is I finally got all of our PCs at school. And we have our setups at school so the kids aren't playing from home. We have Nintendo Switch at school. We have gaming PCs. We have our live stream compute. We have everything at school. You come to school to practice. You all practice on the same equipment. They can bring their keyboard and mouse or whatever, but like everybody's got the same ping. It's the same everything. And you practice like a team. You don't just practice like your buddies at home. The coach will come to you and train you. The mental health counselor, your performance coach will come in and train you to be better because like, yeah, you're great at the game, but what does that look like? And what is our goal? Our goal to make you a professional esports player? I mean, not really. Maybe. As we heard earlier, there are a lot of that give scholarships, Columbia Basin College being one of them in Washington, that gives scholarships for esports players or people in the live streaming side of it. There is a lot of opportunity, but that's not necessarily my goal. My goal is to make you a better person. So now the mental health counselor, he's been reading and studying this. We're actually taking it to some educational research organizations to maybe get some funding and some backing. We want heart rate monitors and we want some like actual scientific data and get some scientists involved. So we're working with, and this goes bigger to the whole WSSEA as well, as we're working with organizations that know that there is important data here. And oh my God, if I could talk about how important it's been to some kids in the special ed program.
So taking it back to the people development side, Mark, as you mentioned football, all of this, to use Matthew's phrase, is analog, right, between the two. I think just an episode or two ago, there's a coach in your life, and what I remember paraphrasing is that he may not have taught you a lot about football, but he taught you a lot about being a person and being a leader and running routes, and those 8 frames of vulnerability, those moments, all of this knits together, which leads me, Matthew, back to you on that idea of, I think it was Matthew who said, should it be called a sport? Should it be esports?
You got my vote on this as a sport.
Yeah,
well,
I think that
no way
I made the argument that they should be called athletes because I thought that just sounded cool, but I think I got voted down.
No, you don't call it athletes.
bridge too far.
You already picked swag, and that was cool. That was your one cool thing. Stop trying to make other things cool. Sorry. Because then you come up with athletes.
Okay.
I kind of like it now. I've been chewing on it up here. Mark's tumor.
I guess it's funny. As soon as you said it's almost like sport adjacent or whatever, I'm thinking why? Why is it? These students are competing. These students are honing skills. And it made me start thinking of what is the definition of sport. And then it made me think of what do they allow in the Olympics?
Now they allow esports.
That is the interesting thing, is I think if it's allowed, I don't like to define sport. Right. Like, that's not fair. This is an incredibly competitive thing. And it is a thing that has to develop skills. And it is a thing that you can practice. And it is a thing that is a team sport. It's an individual sport. And there's just no way in my mind that this isn't a sport just because you are not physically using your body.
Right.
Oh my God, you
chess
are.
A sport? Is chess a sport? I think chess is a sport. I mean,
So they have this term called getting sweaty, and it is for a reason. Because we actually
we run into the sweats.
We used heart rate monitors on our kids playing Valorant, and for 40 minutes,
is that radar?
These kids their heart rate was in the yellow the entire time. They burned more calories than the baseball team when they were using the heart rate monitors. They are nervous. They are burning so many calories, and just the amount of mental attention that they have to keep the entire time. Because even if they die or get eliminated in the game, they are still now in the viewing their teammates, and so they can help look for there's smoke on your right or whatever, any sort of help with callouts. It doesn't end. And in baseball, you stand out in the outfield for half an hour and you chase butterflies, I guess.
I did that.
I love sports, but
no, I did that.
I know, so did I. I'm more of a shortstop guy, but we don't need to get in the weeds because the weeds are all being picked by the center fielder because there's nothing else to do out there.
Hey, is it okay if I try to do the sales pitch for joining WSSEA?
Absolutely. This is what we want. We want people to join. We want people to get involved And
You're stealing his pitch, man.
No, that's all right. He can go for
sorry.
it.
No,
I'm not
I
stopping
mean-
you.
Oh,
that's why we're here.
Okay.
How do I mute my microphone?
WSSEA Esports is open for everybody in Washington State. All schools within Washington State that are middle school or high schools are allowed to participate. We would love you to go to our website, which is wasea.games, or you can go to wasschoolesports.com. Both of those are valid URLs. They will get you the same page. On that page, you will see a wonderful link of pictures and of game rules and things like that. I want you to go near the top. There's a button near the top right-hand corner that says join. If you go to that page, you will see an option for you to join. You'll see a price list there for joining. Guess what? You can probably get to talk to us, and maybe if you want to just try a game for free, a season for free. We actually have a full free season, which is our winter season. It's short, but you can definitely join us during our winter season and just see if you like it. It's not too expensive to get into esports if you're careful, and you can spend all the money and you can do all the things. But if you have a Switch and a copy of Smash Bros, you can actually do a lot of gaming with that. If you have 3 computers that can play Rocket League, you can play a lot of games with that. So there's a lot of things you can do. We were talking about Valorant. Valorant is designed to play high frame rates on the low end hardware. If you got something halfway decent, you'll be 160 frames per second easily. It's just how that game is designed because they want those high frame rates. It's not designed to be super flashy. It's designed to be really high-end gaming as far as on the actual gameplay itself. So these games are fun. There's easy ways to get in. We're trying to find new ways of making this easier for people to join us. We will have more information about that in the future. And if you go to that site, the join site, scroll down a little bit. The reason why I want you to scroll down a little bit is because I have a bunch of posters there that I want you to look at. Those posters are really kind of cool. They're like the ones that they are something you can use if you want to see if you can get people inside your school to be interested in joining us. Print these out or put them on your screens or whatever you need to do. I've got them in the tall poster format and widescreen to 1080p formats for that kind of thing, which is intended for you guys to get there. There's also, I want to talk a little bit about with the fact that we went to state. That's right. You have at least a one time a year. We have a in-person event where a bunch of teams get together after making it through the whole season. We boil down to the teams that actually want to get to a bracket where we can actually have you guys compete in person in a room. Last year, it happened in Linwood Event Center, and we had 41 different schools represented where they all came, and we had a packed day from the early morning until the afternoon playing games, getting games there. We have games that we stream every day from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every week. Those games, we have a game that we stream around 4:00. We usually have somebody matched up with another school, and it's featured, and we use our friends at LandFest to help us make that stream happen. And we got sponsors to trying to make this stuff happen. This is something that you can do. It's not too hard. Even if you're just kind of curious, come join our Discord, talk to us, see what's like in here. Are always able to help you with things like, how do I get my networking? What do I need to do for this kind of problem? My IT guy says he will not let me get my games through the firewall. What do I do in that case? All those things are things that we're happy to help with. We have rules that are there, which we go over them. We try as best we can to make these rules as plain and simple, but also a real kind of the thing that, you can always call up the rule book and see what's going on. We have a program that helps us manage our systems and try to manage our league and our different events that happens. So every week you can see who you're going to be playing next week and that kind of stuff. We want you to come and be excited and see this kind of stuff. See if you're going to just start and get your foot in the door and see if that's interesting to you, or this is just amazing and this is exactly what you want to be doing. Please come and join us here at WSSEA. We would love to have you.
That is WSSEA.
Yep. Or wasschoolesports.com. Both work.
Brilliant.
Sorry, I'm surfing your website right now.
Yep. We'll get those links dropped in. I think 41 schools.
Yeah. It was great. And what was great was normally it was going to be 40,
really great.
but we had a tie. It was so close for this wild card spot that we were like, okay, we're going to bring both the schools. One of you is going to eliminate the other real fast at the beginning of the day because it was so close and we couldn't figure out who was going to break the tie because we keep track of the scores for each game, and we try to use the scores to break ties like that. But it's like it's so close, you can both come and enjoy the whole day. And we had when we went there last year, we had a whole bunch of schools show up. We had Grand Canyon University, University of Washington Esports, University State University Cougars Esports, Hawks Esports, which is from Columbia Basin, and AIE, which is the Columbia Basin College, the arts education. They came. We had developers come, and we let them sit in a corner of the state championship, and the kids got to play these games that are in development and give their feedback and see these games and talk and ask them about what's going on. And we had vendors there, and it was a huge event. The bouncy house was pretty cool, I gotta say. That was a good thing to have in there.
Yeah. So Matthew, you just forgot to eliminate on the 41 teams rather than 40. You forgot to eliminate the Russian judges.
We did?
Yeah. Olympics.
Sorry. I'm focusing on Street Fighter now.
Oh, okay.
When is the next Street Fighter one? Because that was Street Fighter 1 was my.
You played Street Fighter 1?
Well, whatever the first one was.
No,
it was on
you played
Nintendo.
Street Fighter 2. Trust me, 1 was horrible.
Whatever the first one that came
Mark,
out.
You're showing your ass. Stop talking.
Don't get us an explicit rating.
She was drinking. I was trying to make her spit. That's all. I love you, Mark. I love your teamers. I love everything about you.
It probably was Street Fighter 2. I don't know. Whatever I played on the Nintendo.
Street Fighter live stream
Street Fighter 2 is what you played.
Is tomorrow.
No, tomorrow is Valorant. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
It's tomorrow.
On Thursday at 4 p.m., you will have a Street Fighter. These kids are, some of these kids are like just beginning and they're just figuring things out. Then you have these kids that are just absolutely rocket and they just know the combos inside and out.
I know that playing against these kids would be terrible for me, but I want to see some I don't know. I imagine it's going to be just insane.
I have a student. So Street Fighter 6 is our game. I'll say that because we won state the first time we did it. The second time we actually got eliminated only because one of my students was sick and nobody told me until we had to register and queue up. And he was like, I'm sick. And then we forfeited the first match of the tournament of the postseason. So we were out. But my student played last week and he went from being unranked on our school account to playing 10 matches and getting Diamond 5, which is right below the master rank, which is the highest rank in the game. The kid is a wizard at Street Fighter 6. He just played 10 matches. He won. We shoutcasted the whole thing, watched, and we're like doing, talking in the chat to see what place we thought he'd rank in. And so now we're going to start a thing where he does that with every character. To see where he can place them all after we do our matches, because the matches for Street Fighter 6 are 25, maybe 30 minutes.
Right.
And then we stream for the other half an hour, and we'll see how many characters he can get to.
What's his
highest rank.
What is he like?
It depends. Every one of them, actually. But he was Ken, and
Ken.
Then when
Masters.
What's his name came out, Terry Bogard. Took up Terry, but now he's Sagat. So
nice.
What's funny is he placed on our account at school, he placed higher than he is ranked at home on his account, which is pretty cool. The kid's amazing. Anyways,
I can't wait to watch it.
That's his thing. I hope we live stream. I don't know. Well, I'll send you a link to our.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and watch his.
I just want to watch some high-end Street Fighter play. I think that would be amazing.
Sometimes it's one-sided.
Yes,
and then I'm going to watch the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie of it.
Sometimes that's one-sided and bad.
Obscure movie reference. Great. Okay.
Not obscure. It's literally like the defining movie reference for video games.
God.
Then
Mortal Kombat was better.
I agree. I loved Mortal Kombat. I hated the second one, but sadly, we do have to wrap this up. Any tips, tricks for folks who are just getting into it?
I can do something real fast.
Go for it.
Do it. Just do it. Like I
now
know
Nike's going to sue us.
I know. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Hey.
By us, I mean me. Not you guys. Well, fine, us. Like literally, if you, and again, esports, yes, join us at WSSEA. Anything, just do it. Listen, I'm going to be, you're going to die soon, probably. Not you, Mark. I know this isn't about you. This is just about us as people.
Man.
My biggest worry in the world is that I'm going to die. So what I need to do is inspire these kids to please figure out immortality so I can live forever and keep doing this really cool stuff. That's all. That's all I ask. Is that too much?
Throw in a good word for me.
You'll be fine.
Matthew, anything?
You don't call it.
Would you also like to tell me that I'm going to die this week?
No, I think you're going to be great. No, if you are interested in this kind of thing, Owen is right. Go out and do something about it, because that's the best thing you could do. If you are interested in just finding out more, if you're interested in watching more, you can join us on our socials. We try to post updates to when we're playing games, and I try to make cool things. I do make some videos every once in a while that I post onto the YouTube link sometimes, like announcing what the season games are. But yeah, it's reach out, have fun. My entire philosophy in life was, for the longest time, be good, have fun, in that order.
Love it.
Matthew, Owen, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
I hope that the two of you are at ACPE in May talking esports. Really great conversation tonight.
Wow. I mean, I have to say that I did not see this episode going where it went tonight. This was awesome. This is just blew my mind, kind of. This was a very heartwarming, feel-good thing for me tonight.
I totally knew where it was going to go, because I'm a fan of Matthew's for the kind of conversations in Discord, but hadn't met Matthew yet, or hadn't had this deep of a conversation. But Owen, again, just kind of like from the very first sentence, I think, that he typed into Discord, and then from the conversations that we had in the years that followed, changing the world.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just somebody who can balance life and juggle all of those pieces and provide such a service to students is just admirable. I mean, it is what everybody strives for. I think that's in education, and we got Owen. He's doing it. It's amazing.
And then Matthew's work to really build it out in Washington.
Absolutely.
Right, for all districts. So not everybody has an Owen. I do have I have follow-up questions, but we were out of time around what about the districts where like there are kids that they see their friends who are in teams in other districts and nobody in their school wants to do it. Like, is there a pathway?
Yeah.
So
it's just this kind of speechless on where we went tonight. But anyway,
yeah,
we do need to kind of wrap things up here since we've been going for so long.
We do.
I will take just a minute for personal to say, I do think it was hilarious what Owen said about this week for me, because Friday is my surgery to get this Joe tumor out of my head. I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait for it to happen. I'm in great spirits about it, and just excited to see everyone on the other side of it. Would be great.
Yeah. Good spirits and a fresh haircut.
I did cut all my hair off. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That was a very strategic move for what I anticipate being a difficult time washing my hair after this is over. Less hair. There you go.
Yeah. And then less for them to like have to decide where to shave and where to.
No, there's no shaving anymore.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Yeah, they just cut a flap off and flip it over, I guess.
My gosh.
No, I went in and I think I blew everybody's minds at Great Clips and said, yeah, I need you to cut my hair off. I have a brain tumor. It was just like this shocked silence. And I was like, and one of the stylists next to me, she was my student when I taught elementary school. Yeah. So, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Your small world, your big world that somehow
it is my big
small.
Small world. It is. Yeah, it certainly is. But anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well.
Okay. We're like the entire ACPE, Owen included, is like going to be super happy to hear the stories. And I want to hear the stories when you come out of anesthesia.
Please no.
We get to use the word liminal again.
Okay.
The in-between space.
Yes.
And then just be together behind microphones with headphones on, talking to really great people in ACPE.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, I am certainly going to unplug now because I got to get some sleep. That is, got to prepare for this thing. So, bye.